What's up, guys? So the M3GAN bot on chess.com is getting stronger and stronger. Just the last video I made about this, M3GAN was 1050. She's now rated 1250, and 3 of the cats are gone. Scaredy Cat, Angry Cat, and Mr. Grumpers have been defeated by M3GAN. There's only Kasparov and, of course, Mittens remaining. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to see how this is going to end when M3GAN finally makes it to Mittens. But in the meantime, I'm going to play M3GAN at 1250 and beat her while I still can. All right, let's get started. Choose, play, and here we go. Let me move my face, and we are off. Let's play e4. Bad children who don't mind their manners. Wow, they grow up to be bad adults. Okay, so she's gaining some, what's the word? What is the word? Something. A little bit of an attitude, I guess we could say. All right, let's go bishop g5. Okay, this is one of the mainline French, which I don't really know very well. I think bishop d3 is an okay move here. Just developing and defending the center. So we have to be careful. We would lose a piece here, but I think we can take this way. And this looks fine for us. We'll take here and we'll take here. So the king has been moved, which means it can no longer castle. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that for sure. Let's play knight to f3, probably just going to castle, get my rooks into the game. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so whenever they make pawn moves, you want to be looking for what weaknesses were created. So this g6 square is jumping out at me. Also, this e6 pawn, it's no longer defended very well. And so I think rook e1 makes a lot of sense, but I am, like I said, keeping an eye on this. And actually, knight to h4 might be a move to consider, threatening the fork. Now, it's a one-move threat, and so I think I'm going to hold off for right now, get the rook involved. But I am keeping an eye on this move. Yeah, and maybe I will play it now, because now we kind of have a couple of additional threats, including a potential knight f5 move as well. So let's play knight to h4 now. It unleashes the queen. And we have lots of ideas. Okay, so she's avoiding the fork and getting out of the pin is probably a pretty good move. So I think what I'm going to do is play the move c3. I want to defend this pawn, so I don't have to worry about that. And it also gives me options for my queen on this side of the board. Okay, so g5 seems too aggressive. The question is, can I get away with bringing my knight into g6? I think I can. So I'm going to play knight to g6, attack the rook. We have the threat on the pawn here. Okay, so she defends against both of those. One thing I'm concerned about is the move f5, because then I have to move my bishop, and then I lose my knight. So the way that I'm going to deal with that is actually just retreating my bishop, I think. And now if she plays f5, it's not attacking my bishop. I have time to move my knight to e5, and I'll be just fine. Wow. This is kind of funny. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is queen to f3 looks like a very good move. It's a double attack. I don't see how black's going to defend both of those, so I will play queen to f3. All right, so she saves the rook, but the pawn is now hanging, so I can take that with check. All right, so what do we have here? There's a pawn hanging. There's a check on e5. Do I have any other good moves? If I go check, king's probably just going to run away. I don't know that I necessarily have a good follow-up. This looks like a free pawn, so I think I'll just take that. Okay, so I have to be careful. This knight is now pinned, but it's well defended, so I'm not super concerned. We could force a queen trade, which I think is a smart decision since we're ahead material. If you're up a significant amount of material like I am, trading is usually a good thing because it gets you closer to the endgame, and that advantage becomes more valuable. All right, so let's get the last rook into the game. So we have all of our pieces developed. And this looks like a nice target. Generally speaking, if you have isolated pawns, they're weak because they're not defended by other pawns. And so I think I'm going to attack it. It's also blockaded, which is important. And so knight to f4 looks like a pretty nice move, putting a lot of pressure on that pawn. Okay, and she doesn't defend it, so there's only 2 defenders. I have 1, 2, 3 attackers, and so I can safely take this pawn. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll keep trading. Like I said before, trading is a good thing. We're going to go into an endgame up a bunch of pawns, and it's going to be relatively easy. All right, so one thing that is nice to do when you're playing in an endgame like this with just, a couple of rooks left, don't leave this like this, because you might get back rank checkmated. So if I were to, let's just say, move over here, I'm getting ready to hunt this pawn, and M3GAN moves the rook, and I take the pawn, I could lose the game. She comes down and I'm checkmated. So one of the easy ways to deal with that is just create some space for your king. It doesn't really matter at the end of the game like this, in this case, just something so that if that ever happens, I can always escape. I don't have to worry about that. So now I'm going to go pawn hunting. I feel very safe about my king. So it's a very easy thing to do. A lot of beginners make that mistake. They don't do that, and they end up losing the game to some back rank checkmate. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. All right, active king in the endgame is always a good idea. And I think at this point, it's time to start pushing the pawns. We have 3 connected pass pawns. The easiest thing to do is going to be to just push them, get a queen, and the game is very easy. Bishop is helping. We'll bring the rook down to help, and I will start pushing this guy as well. All right, here we go. G7, we can bring the rook down. And M3GAN is still beatable at this point, so if you want to beat her, better do it fast, because she's gaining points rather quickly. All right, let's get the queen, and let's go ahead and get another queen. Why not? We don't need to, but since I can, might as well do it. Let's go for check, and then we'll get the second queen. The only thing we need to be concerned about when we get multiple queens is stalemating. But I'm not worried about that, because I see that M3GAN has lots of pawns that can move forward. And so she's going to have some different options for pieces to move. And so I'm safe to get my 2 queens. All right, so let's swing over here. This is almost checkmate after the knight blocks, or the king can move. This looks like checkmate. All right, so there you go. Like I said, it looks like M3GAN is gaining strength very quickly. I'm very interested to see what happens after she takes down Kasparov, and then we have Mittens. So make sure you stay tuned. I'll be posting updates here. And so, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. As always, stay sharp, play smart, and take care.